Already. Okay, so the first minute, all we got to do is we're going to start with a little bit of a soft knee, and we're just going to start to walk sideways on our mat. And then move your arms just a little bit, like you're just kind of giving your arms a nice little pump, and walk yourself sideways, but keep a little bit of a soft looseness in your knees. And as you do this work here, just kind of start to notice, how's your body feeling this morning? How do your legs feel? How do your arms feel? What's your energy level like? Did you get enough sleep last night? Have you been eating good, nourishing food? And I say nourishing food has different values. So sometimes junk food has its own level of nourishment. So just know that you should know. I like a good s'more every once in a while. All right, we're already halfway there. You might choose to pick up the pace just a little bit if it feels good, or lower your pace if you're feeling like you need to monitor your energy. 15 seconds left. All right, now the next time you come to where the front end of your mat would be, you're going to turn yourself around so that you're facing that front end of the mat. Now we're going to start to go in a little bit of a diagonal walk. So we're going to diagonal walk, keep a nice low squatty position. And then as you start to find that diagonal walk, see if you can keep your gaze up. So no need. And then once you get to the tail end of your mat, jog yourself forward, and then we're right back to that diagonal walk. So we're stepping backwards, but we're trying to keep our gaze up and forward, a slight bend in the knees. Once you hit that tail end of your mat, a light little jog to the front end, and then right back to that diagonal step. If jogging doesn't feel good, just a nice little lively step. It doesn't have to be a jog. You're already halfway there. "20 seconds left. You got this." And time. Nicely done. Okay, next up, it's going to be a squat. We're going to squat down, touch the ground, and then come up and reach overhead. Now think of this as still a warm-up minute. So if you've been active already this morning and your body's feeling pretty revved up and ready to go, you might choose to grab your hand weights and add on here, just reaching down, touch the ground, reach up and overhead. But if you're still warming up, allow this to be your warm-up minute. Doesn't have to be fast, doesn't have to be a super deep squat. You might even choose to just touch your knees and then rise up. Nicely done. Ten seconds left. And time. Nice job. Okay, grab your hand weights, and we're going to just kind of keep our hand weights loaded with us for the rest of the time. So grab 2 hand weights, light or heavy, totally up to you. We're going to take it right into some alternating heel pedals, but we're going to lift and hold at the top. So one foot is going to lift up, meet the other at the top. We got 30 seconds of work here, and you're just going to tune in and notice where your balance is at this morning. So holding that elevated position with the heels, you might feel a little off kilter. And if you are, find a wall, let your wall support you so that you can do this work without having to worry too much about holding your balance. Get your ankles moving, get your calf muscles kicked on and firing up. Four seconds left, and then we're going to take it into some calf raises. So we're going to lift both heels at the same time. Now start to hold your weights just slightly away from the side of your body. We're going to try to lift the heels and lower them at a nice, steady, and even pace. Keep your belly slightly firm. Keep your arms away from your side. Nice form, you guys. Beautiful posture. And time, nice job. Okay, now we're gonna load our weights up at the shoulders, just holding them there. And now we're gonna take it into some alternating rear leg lifts, but we're gonna slightly abduct the legs. So think out at a little bit of an angle, lift and squeeze, switch to the other side. So we're angling out, like imagine you're angling your foot towards the back corner of your mat. What we wanna find is get that big gluteus maximus muscle to kick on and squeeze. So that's what we're shooting for. Load up at the shoulders, lift and squeeze, switch to the other leg. Doesn't have to be super high, but we really want to feel those big butt muscles working nice and hard to lift that leg up, get a little squeeze and release it. If your balance is super off this morning, and some days are just like that. Some days your balance is like 10 out of 10. You can stand on one leg forever. And some days it's just a little wonky. So if you need a wall or a chair, hold on to a wall or a chair so that you can do this work, get those butt muscles kicked on without having to overthink about your balance too much. 10 seconds left. And time, nicely done. Okay, shake out your butt just a little bit. We're gonna stick with those weights, but now we're gonna take it into our glute jumps. So we sink into a little bit of a squat, we jump forward, try to land heel, ball, toe, and we stick the landing so we don't get up out of this squat position. Step yourself back, jump, land heels, ball, toe. So that's the landing we wanna shoot for. Stick the landing and then step it back again. We got 1 minute on the clock. We're going to try to stay nice and low in that squatted position. Jump yourself forward, stick the landing, step yourself back. You can come through the squat once you've stuck the landing. So we want to stay in that lower position. And that makes our glute muscles kick on to help support that landing. Nice job, you guys. 25 seconds left. Now, if landing in that jump feels a little jarring to the shins, or if you've got any osteo stuff and you're being a little bit more mindful, now you're going to take it into a little bit of a step. You'll still want to land heel, ball, toe, but with that little step, you'll alternate which foot leads you. So you still get that little bit of a vigor, that little bit of impact and hold. All right, that's time. Rise on up, shake your butt out. Now we're going to take it into a sumo squat. So we're going to load up right up at the shoulders, right up the ears. Squat down. We're going to hold that squatting position and tip a little side to side. So we're going to work those oblique muscles. Hold your squat. We got 1 minute on the clock. You're taking it at your pace. Try not to let the shoulders tip or rotate forward. So don't worry so much about getting some big giant side bend, but worry about keeping it at a controlled level. So we want to bend side to side. Arms stay in that steady position. Legs are nice and strong. Yes, you guys look amazing. Beautiful work. Thirteen seconds left. And time. Rise on up, keep your legs just as they are. Keep loaded at the shoulders. We're now moving right into a sumo squat, up and down. So we're gonna stay loaded at the shoulders. But if you want that little extra something, you'll take it into a bicep curl. That's totally up to you. We are mostly focused on our legs and our abdomen today. So if you want that little extra bit of arm stuff, go ahead and go for it. But you'll still get plenty of a good workout without having those bicep curls. As we're doing this work here, we want to check on our inner thighs and our knees. Specifically, we want to make sure that our knees aren't trying to drop in as we do that little dip. So think about kicking on the inner thighs, draw the knees towards the pinky toes so we keep those knees from collapsing inward. and then focus on keeping a little bit of a firmness in your belly. You got it. Ten seconds left. And time, nice. Okay, now we're gonna keep a wide position with the legs, but maybe slightly wider, and then you'll readjust your toes and your knees to adjust to your hips. But now we're gonna take it into our side lunges with the pick it up, put it down, put it down. So you're gonna place your weights down and then pick them up, and you're alternating between the two. How wide your legs are, that's whatever feels the strongest to you. And then how you position your legs with the feet turned out or the toes pointing forward. Again, that's totally up to you. What feels the strongest in your legs and where do you move most comfortably? This is one of those ones, once you've got your motion down, if you want to pick up the pace, go as fast as you like. Just make sure you're keeping good form and your legs feel nice and strong. Ten seconds left. And time, nice job. Okay, now we're gonna come down into a 90-90 lunge. So bring one knee down, find your lunging position, and then just depending on what kind of weights you're using, I've got nice light weights, so I'm just gonna butt them up against each other, taking it into some hay balers. So we're gonna take it to one hip, throw it over the shoulder, 1 minute on the clock here. If the weights are too much, set them down. If 2 weights is too much, just hold 1 weight sideways. We're gonna get our legs nice and solid, nice and kicked on so they're strong. Butt muscles squeezing so the glutes are kicked on and the legs stay nice and solid. Take it to your hip, throw it over your shoulder. So here, we're working the gut, we're working the glutes, we're working that quadricep muscle and the core muscles, and specifically we're working into those obliques. As we get that little twist, and then toss it over the shoulder. You got it, nice work. 25 seconds left. And time, beautiful. Switch feet. Now we're taking that 90-90 lunge just to the other side. And also we're taking our weights to the other side. So take it over to your hip, toss it over the shoulder. We got 1 minute on the clock. You're taking this at your pace. Make sure your legs feel good and solid. If the weights are too much at this point, you have the option to put them down. But if you can hang on to them, keep that little bit of load. So we work those oblique muscles, legs are nice and strong. Glute muscles are kicked on, holding you nice and strong in that solid position. Nice work, you guys. That looks amazing. Beautiful. Fifteen seconds left. And time, nice. Okay, now for here, some of us are gonna come into that high kneel position for that Z sit, but some of us, it'll feel a little bit better to take this particular one in a V sit position. So you'll sit in your V sit and it's gonna be that reach and touch. So if you're gonna go into that seated position, angle yourself out, find that lean back, get those core muscles to kick on, and we're reaching back. If you're gonna come into the high kneel position, essentially the same thing, but now we're gonna reach and touch the heels. So we're gonna lean back into that Z sit position, but touch your heels or touch the sole of your foot. You can load up with your weights if you want to. Either way, just make sure that you have good control You feel nice and strong and solid. If you're in that upper Z-sit position, that tall kneeling position, we want to think about drawing the tailbone down or keeping the pubic bone connected to the ribs. So we want a little bit of control in our center. Maintain that good solid control. You get the thigh stretch as you lean back, or you get those hip flexor muscles kicked on if you're in your V-sit position. Nice work, you guys, beautiful. "12 seconds left. And time. Awesome job. Okay, now we're going to come into a tabletop position. So whichever option you went for, either in your Z-sit or your V-sit, come around into a all fours position. And then once you've got your way here, we're going to be 30 seconds one side, 30 seconds on the other side. So it's going to be a donkey kick to start. So we're going to go right leg, just kicking the leg up and lowering it down. We got 30 seconds on the right leg. How you position your arms is totally up to you. You can stay in this tall, upright tabletop position. You can come down, elbows and forearms, a little bit more supportive to the upper body. Whichever option you choose, try to just make sure that we're keeping a nice solid center. So here we're moving out of the glutes and out of the hip, but we keep our belly slightly firm. Keep your shoulders nice and braced. We got 3 seconds left on this leg. And then right away, when you're ready, switch over to the other side. You can readjust your hands as needed. So you can come down into that lower position or even a crooked table if that feels like a better way to go. Whatever shape you choose, just try to make sure you keep your shoulders strong, belly firm, and we're lifting out of the glute muscles, moving in the hip. Yes, you guys look amazing. Nice job. All right, now we're staying in our tabletop position, moving back to the right leg. Here you might like that little bit of a crooked table, so left elbow and forearm down, right hand down, and now we're taking it into our fire hydrants. So we're lifting out to the side, bringing it back in with control. We got 30 seconds on this side. Now we're working out of those side glutes. So think gluteus medius, gluteus minimus. Still want to keep that firm tummy. Still want to keep your shoulders nice and braced. You guys look amazing. Beautiful job. All right, now we're switching over to the other leg. So reposition yourself if you went for that crooked table. Left leg lifts out to the side, bring it back down with control. We got 30 seconds on this side. You're taking this at your pace. If you've got really great control, you can take all of these at a faster pace, but only if that feels good to you. And time. Bring your knees down, pull your butt back to your heels. We do have one more round here, so just get a little stretch, catch your breath. And then when you're ready, come back up to that tabletop position, 30 seconds on the right leg. Now it's gonna be like a roundhouse kick. So elbow and forearm down if that feels good. You lift the leg out to the side, hinge out from your knee, bend, bring it back down, lower the leg. 30 seconds on this side. So we pick the leg up, kick out from the knee, bend the knee, bring it back in. You got it. Same thing on this side. We want to keep our tabletop position fairly sturdy. Most of the movement is coming out of the leg. Everything else is going to stay as stable as it can. All right, when you're ready, switch over to the other side. Get your table set up, and then away we go. Lift it out to the side, hinge from the knee, kick out, lower it back down with control. We got 30 seconds on the clock. You're taking this at your pace. Your tabletop is staying nice and stable. Yes, you guys, nice work. 20 seconds left. You got this. And time. Beautiful job. Okay, spin it around, take it onto your backside. We're moving right into some hip bridges with a crunch, and we're going to focus on the breath. Now, if you want to load up with weights, grab your weights, but it's totally not necessary. You're going to get plenty of work even if you don't use your weights. So we're going to exhale, lift up into your hip bridge, inhale to lower down, exhale to crunch, inhale to lower down. Focus on that added breath. Exhale to lift your hips, exhale to crunch. You got it. You got 1 minute on the clock. We're alternating between the two. If you chose to take your weights with you, you'll load them up at the hips. Exhale, lift up and squeeze. Load them up, take it into a little crunch. Load them at the hips. Exhale, lift and squeeze. Load them at the shoulders. Exhale and crunch. And time. Nice job. Okay, now we're going to take it into a wider position with our feet. So you can load up with the weights if you want to, but we're going to just step our feet so that they're a little bit out towards the edges of the mat. Feet are going to be slightly externally rotated, and we're going to come right back to our hip bridge. We got 1 minute on the clock. We're lifting the butt up and squeeze, lower with control. We have that slight wide position with the legs. So you might feel a little bit more action in the inner thigh muscles, but we still want to focus on that squeeze of the butt as we hit the top. And then if you're still working on that breath connection to your movement, you will still exhale as you lift your butt up and inhale as you release back down. You're already halfway there. Ten seconds left. You got this. And time. Nicely done. Okay, grab your hand weights. We're going to load up for a dead bug. So we're just going to hold our hand weights straight out from the chest, palms facing in towards each other, palms facing down, just whatever feels more stable in your shoulders. Pick your legs up into that dead bug position. And then first things first, you're just going to hang out here for a second. Start by focusing on pulling your abdominal muscles down. So you feel your tailbone curl up just a little bit. And then in that position, hold your belly nice and firm. Bring both toes down to the ground. Bring them back up with control, and then just do maybe 1 or 2 more just to notice how your back feels in this position. For some of us, this is going to be a great position to keep the belly button pulled down. But if you feel like you're just excruciatingly not in good form there, relax your back, come to the natural curve of your back and touch both toes down and see how that feels. For some of us, it's going to feel really great to keep the low back pressing down. For some of us, it's going to feel really great to have the natural curve of our back. So subtle variations there. You find the form that feels best to you. And then once you've got it, we've got 1 minute on the clock. You're taking this at your pace. Arms are going to hold up in that dead bug position. Both toes are going to touch down. Bring them back up with control. If you're working with your breath here, you're going to exhale as the toes touch down and inhale as you bring them back in. If you felt really good and solid in both positions, the belly pulling down or in the natural curve of your back, then your core is probably in pretty good condition, pretty strong. And then you'll just choose your own adventure. You might go 30-30. You might go 30 with the back pressing down and then 30 with the natural curve of your back. It does touch on different abdominal muscles. You just know that if you're going with one and you can do both, vary it up so you get both areas kicked on. We got 5 seconds left. And time. Nicely done. Okay, extend your legs nice and long. Option 4 weights or without weights, that's going to be totally up to you, but we're going to take it into some roll-ups from here. So inhale, arms are going to stretch up and overhead, legs are nice and long. As you exhale, you're going to curl up, peel your back away from the wall, reach past your toes if you can. You have options to bend your knees here. Lower all the way down, arms lift up and overhead. Exhale, and we roll all the way up. We got 1 minute on the clock. You're taking this at your pace. If you want to add some weights here, you're just going to load them up. Same thing. Exhale as you curl up, reach past your toes. Make sure you keep your legs nice and strong. So we want to think about pushing through the heels so that we can roll up through the spine. And this is one of those great ones. If you're not in control of this movement yet, you could do it with your feet up against the wall. So you keep and maintain that pressure against your feet. But you guys look amazing. Nice work. 25 seconds left. All right, now the next time you come up to that seated position, stay in that seated position, set your weights off to the side, and now we're gonna take it into a halfway roll down. So we're gonna bend the knees, you're gonna think curl the tailbone under, roll halfway back, just to the point where you feel those abdominal muscles kick on, and then come back up, restack your spine, find that nice tall position. Curl the tailbone under, roll to that halfway point, feel the abdominal muscles kick on, come back up, find that nice upright spine. We've got 1 minute on the clock. You're taking this at your pace. If you found here that you're just not getting enough work, you're going to load up your arms, holding them out and away from each other though, so that we keep and maintain that good posture with the spine and keep that whole upper body, that whole core center. So think core work is from the collarbones all the way down to your thighs. Nice, Robbie. Beautiful. Man, you guys look amazing. Nice job. 15 seconds left. You got this. And time. Awesome job. All right, we're spinning around. Find your way to a tabletop position. Take a second to assess. This is our last minute of work. So you might think of it more as a full body stretch, or if you want that little extra bit of workout, you're going to place your weights towards the front end of your mat. We're going to take it up into a down dog position. So just an upside down V. Don't worry about what that shape looks like. Step your right foot forward into a nice big wide lunge. Maybe you pick up a weight, reach up with a little twist, set it down, plant your palms, step back to that V shape. Left foot's going to step out nice and wide. Left hand grabs the weight, reach up, set it down, back to your down dog. So this is a big full body move here. So if you want this last minute to be a little bit more of a cool down, leave the weights off. If it feels great and you just want to push it for that last minute, keep those weights, pick one up, reach with it in your twist, set it down with control, back to that down dog shape, step the other foot forward, and we're just alternating between the two. How strong you keep this position, that is totally up to you. Nicely done. You're already halfway there. You got this. And time. Okay, find your way into that down dog situation. Make that little upside down V. But now we're going to walk our hands towards our feet. So walk your hands back so that you find a little forward fold position. Once you've got that forward fold position, bend your knees a lot. Let your head hang down. Maybe even grab your elbows and let gravity do a little work for you here. Just a little traction in the spine. Let your elbows hang nice and heavy. Take one more breath. If you're holding onto your elbows, go ahead and release them. Bend your knees a lot. Pull your abdominal muscles in. Come up nice and slow and controlled. Once you come all the way up, arms are going to reach up and overhead. Take a nice big side bend over to one side. Nice. Come back up through center and switch over to the other side. Beautiful. Come back up through center. And now if your balance was a little off this morning, you might choose to grab a handhold. So grab a wall, grab a chair, whatever you got. And now we're just going to bend one knee, see if you can catch hold of the foot. So grab the blade edge or the top of the foot. And now think hug heel in towards the butt, knee in towards the knee, and then the front pocket comes forward just a little bit. Awesome. And then hold on to the wall or let go of the wall. But now we're going to pull that knee up towards the chest. So if you can grab hold with both hands, hug it in for a light little squeeze, pulling a little stress down into that glute muscle. Take one more moment and then releasing. Now we're going to stretch the other side. So flip yourself around if you're using your handhold, grab hold of that foot. We're hugging the heel in towards the butt, knee in towards the knee, and then the front pocket comes forward slightly. Awesome. And then when you're ready, pull that knee up into your chest. Both hands or one hand, that's totally up to you. If you've got your balance and you want to go both hands, do that. Nice. And then when you're ready, release everything, give it all a good shimmy shake. Hopefully you're feeling really good. Grab your big stability ball if you're sticking around.